talk about imposter syndrome because there has been several times where I've struggled with that during my walk with Christ. So a few months ago, I was wrestling with God and I was wrestling with myself. And I was wrestling with myself because there were things that I was praying for that God was about to bring into fruition. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? But I just didn't feel like I deserved it. And also, it required a different amount of discipline that I wasn't used to. And in those moments, I found myself irritated because, yes, I wanted to grow, right? But I was so used to a comfortable amount of growth and not to be stretched past the capacity that I have set for myself. And the other thought in my head was, if I continue to grow at this rapid rate, I'm going to become somebody that I don't even know. And I wasn't sure if I was okay with that because I was like, dang, God, like I already, been growing a lot, within these past few years. So you're saying you want more? But I had to remember what I prayed for. I said, God, and I always say this, God, make me into the woman that you were calling me to be. And within those moments, God was reminding me that there are things in me that he was still trying to shed from my past. And I found through the midst of this that I had a deep wound and root of rejection to where even though God was trying to do things for me, I was rejecting his help. And I was rejecting who he was calling me to be. And I was rejecting his power. Because we got to remember that God is in the business of transformation and deliverance. And the thing about dealing with him, the gift of salvation that we have is a continuous thing. And so when you think God done, he's not done with you yet. He's going to continue to prune you. He's going to continue to take things out of you that don't need to be there. And it hurt. It hurt because you have to die to yourself. You have to kill your flesh daily. And you have to relinquish your control. And so that's what I did. And was I mad at first? Absolutely. But who am I to get in God's way when he's actually the one who is answering the prayers and he is delivering what you have asked him for? He's delivering to you what you need to succeed. And from there, I was like, all right, God, if you are taking this up a notch, then I need to make sure that I'm aligning myself with what you are doing. And I decided that, okay, for me to believe this, I'm not going to go by my nickname anymore. And I'm going to start using my first name a lot more. Because in my nickname, there was so much bondage in that from my past. And it was just too much comfortability. And for my first name, I never really got to figure out who Asavia actually is. But I'm going through that process now. And when I tell you, it's the most refreshing experience. And through the process, God is teaching me more boundaries and to figure out what I actually like. My new thing right now is I have an obsession with flowers. Like, I always like flowers, but like now it hits different. And another thing is I've been enjoying eating healthy food, enjoying and finding out new hobbies and getting back into the gifts that God has given me. But let me tell you something. Through this process, my love for God has grown tremendously. My satisfaction in God has grown tremendously to where he has brought me into a place of safety and security and into this place of innocence to where I'm not worried about what anybody think about me because my confidence and reliance is in the Lord. So in conclusion, I made this video to encourage somebody who may be struggling with imposter syndrome or that may be struggling with growing pains. I want you to think about when you were a little kid and you were excited to get older. You were excited to see how you were going to be as an adult. Who said that the excitement had to die? So I challenge you to allow God to renew your mind in this process. So you can see that all that bad that you feared that would happen didn't even happen because you're walking with God. And so when you walking with God, God gonna fulfill the plan.